Hey guys, Centurion here, and today we'll be going through the top 5 servers on Xbox. Some of these do have a PlayStation server that is partnered or with them, or just have one that is a derivative, and so as PC as well. So I'll make sure I'll put those as well, and I'll mention them for each one. There are, in some instance, there is a bit of footage that isn't for me. I could not put a recording on the server, unfortunately, since all microphone usage and anything to do with streaming and voice audio is no longer supported on Twitch or by recording it. So I'm afraid I had to go to my buddy Glaz, which I'll credit in the description, and also put his link in the description also, so I can credit him for that. This also is working with Marks. He's doing a PC variant of this, so make sure you go check that one out as well. So without further ado, let's get into the list. So the first video we have here, and the first server we have here, is from Savage RP. This is a Chernarus based RP server, as it says in its name. It also has elements of PvE and PvP if you do like a bit of action. Every weekend is a raid weekend. It's on a, like, I think, not every weekend, but it's every fortnight. They have a raid weekend where you can go ahead and raid players' bases. Fortunately, when we did this video that you see on screen, it fell on a weekend of raiding, so it was all good. They do have a trader as well, so you can go ahead and trade items for money and so forth. They do have a black market as well if you do enjoy growing weed and selling them for a lot of money. So definitely a good server if you like to do a bit of all that. As well, there's obviously the RP element of everything, where obviously there is KRS rules, you have to interact, etc, etc. So I'll link this video if you like to watch it up the top, and go ahead and check it out as well. It is a good server. Unfortunately, this one does not have a PS4 or PC server. The next RP server we have on the list is known as Silent Hell. Silent Hell is probably one of the servers that is most well known in the Xbox community, as it has a good maybe 5,000 members in the server. Something ridiculous like that. So it's obviously being one of the most well known means it's have a very active player base. The server is, I think, a 70 pop as of the moment. It also has traders, a blue zone, multiple opportunities for people to go about and do different things. For example, bandit factions, police, and so on. As you see on screen, this is you can see both the police faction and also a bandit faction on together. By the way, this footage is from my friend Glaz, so massive thanks for him for letting me to use this. I'll just have to, out of obligation and obviously being thankful, I will put his Discord and his YouTube in the description below. Along with this, they do have a new server by the name of City RP, which is obviously a City RP server, which is good if you like to do all the compressed RP and have a small area where all the RP is. This is a very good server if you like PvP, bit of PvE, but mainly role playing. Next on the list is what is known as Conquest. Now, if you haven't heard of Conquest, you have been living under a rock. This is one of the most well-known servers across PS4 and Xbox, as it has a server, it currently has standing at this current time a Discord standing of 41,435 people. This is a huge Conquest server. It's, given a name, in which people will fight out along the map for area and control. It is currently a 50 slot, but I believe they have 3 servers, Livonia and 2 Chernarus ones. I can be wrong, I may be wrong, but that is what I remember. But this is across PS4 and also Xbox, so you'll be loving this one. So the main premise of this one is you spawn in at your base. There's 2 bases, you've got red and blue. I think they're both representing the Chidaki and Chernarus movement factions on this from the lower, and basically you fight across the map for control of checkpoints or control points. Now, if you like a big team, fighting a big team, you'll love this big server, because obviously it's got a huge player base and it's something that never really bores unless you don't enjoy PvP too much. When I played this not so long ago, I had a blast, and the community is very friendly, and there's always milsim-like operations going on if you join your side's Discord server. So there's always something to do. So it is really good, and also if you are a content creator and you like PvP, this is one server you'll love to go on to just to record a series or two. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself here, so let's move on to the next lot of category. Now, when you play Dayz, you think of two things. You think of raiding and you think of PvP. So this one is going to be good for you if you are a big fan of raiding, PvP, and the element of factions. Now, this one is called Blackout. Blackout has many servers. I think they have something like 14 servers, all ranging from 1 times loot all the way up to 12 times loot, as well as basically TDM servers. So I think they have a TDM MWF and TDM Tissy, and TDM, I think Starry as well. Basically, they have a lot of servers, so if you don't like one of their servers, you may like the other server because it has more loot or less loot, harder, more hardcore, easier, so on. So I'm going to put the link in the video up top just so you have an idea of what it's like, but it is really good if you do like a style of PvP or a style of, you know, team deathmatch, something where you can spawn and get guns, fight, die, spawn in, get guns, fight, die continuously. There is when you spawn in, you do spawn in with a bag as well. So you have guns, ammo, food at the start. However, if you are a faction, you need to obviously be careful, because there are other factions who are willing to raid you and willing to dominate the server. So make sure you keep an eye out, and also go ahead and enjoy the server if you do go ahead and join it. So, and now for the last one on the list, it's Darker Than Blood, which is a PvP, PvE, and more of a faction server as well, as it has obviously the ability to create factions of up to 6 people. I think it recently was increased to 9. So, this faction server is more PC folk. It's like if you wanted to have a PC server on Xbox and you tried your best to replicate it on Xbox, this is what you've got. So there is a lot of customized buildings, a lot of servers, well, a lot of items that are in the files that you can bring back into the server and it'll work. For example, weed seeds is still in the files but doesn't actually work. For some reason you can eat the weed, which obviously somewhat realistic, I guess. They also have the camo, like a camo net shelter, as well as some other stuff that they're putting back into the files. As well, you have a trader that you can go to, and if you have enough money, you can buy guns, ammo, gear, explosives. Obviously, it's regulated, so you don't go ahead and buy a whole fucking, you know, server worth of it. And you've got chainsaws in the server as well that you can go ahead and do raids with. It's very, very PC focused to try and replicate the PC feel while on Xbox, which is cool, and I enjoyed it, and I ended up making, I think, a total of 5 videos on the server before I focused back on PC and to try and play some more PC content out. Now, this server is also a very good community. It's they do have a shit talk channel, just if you like to go ahead and shit talk people, just because, what the hell not. As well as the ability to buy base radars, so on, so you can go ahead and protect your base while you're not on the weekends. Speaking of raids, they are at weekends from Friday midnight to, this is GMT by the way, to Sunday midnight. So you can go ahead and have 2 days of full raiding, just so you can go ahead and dominate the server if you really wanted to. In addition to this server, there is also the ability, I think there was at the time a RP island, but I believe they've removed that as of recent. So they have got an event center as well, so events can be held there, such as paintball, which is you going around with a BK-133 shotgun and you shooting rubber slugs at people to knock them out and get the win. And you can win stuff out of these as well, so it's a very good server if you always want something to do. Anyway, that's the end for I'm Centurion. I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead, all these videos, all these servers are linked in the description, so go ahead and join them. Anyway, goodbye.